Hey guys, what's going on? It's your girl Queen G. Welcome to another segment of the Queen G Live Experience. My goodness, it's been a while. I've been, dealing with a lot of different things, a lot of different dynamics of different things. Put it like that. Life is tough, and you just got to ride those waves out and ride those battles out that hit you in life. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to start the show by sending up a sincere prayer for the families in Texas during this time. It's a rough moment. The weather has been brutal and beaten down on a lot of the residents, and there's a lot of people without power, without water, without food. It's just a lot of different things going on, and I'm just praying for our world, our city. I'm here, as you guys know, and even in our own lives. Today, our water went out, so we've been dealing with that element alone with a full family. So I know you guys can imagine how that kind of is. It's been rough, and trying to all the stores are running out of supplies, and it's just been rough, y'all. So keep our city in your prayers. I heard of a family that last night they got in their car to try to keep warm, and they end up dying of carbon monoxide from being in the car trying to have the car warm them up overnight. So again, things like that, just it's been so serious, you guys, and I'm very heavy today, but I'm gonna push through because I got an amazing guest for you. I want to bring this special lady on. Hey, everybody that's tuning in. She is powerful. She's amazing. She is brilliant. She is genius. She is very talented. She's gorgeous. All of the above. I have a very, 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 very special guest for you guys. You may have seen her at your local clubs or venues. She can sing, sing. So without any further ado, I don't want to drag it out or, waylay her coming on. I want to bring on our special guest, Miss beautiful songstress, Oya Thompson. I'm gonna make sure. Oya Thomas. Let me make sure I'm saying her name right. Even as guests, we mistake sometimes. Let me make sure I am saying her name correctly. Oya Thomas. Oya Thomas. Let's bring her on and talk to her. We add her to the stream. Hey, gorgeous.
Hey,
Oh my God. How are you? It has been forever.
I know it's been a long time. How are you? And I'm sending you love and light in Texas. I was just listening to what you were saying before you brought me in, and yeah, how are you doing?
It's a lot of heavy stuff going on. Like I can't even front. Like you would come on and be like, oh no, like no, this is real. And I'm originally from the West Coast. So even the snow and the weather, all that is just an adjustment. It's all an adjustment.
I know.
But you know what? It's gorgeous though. I love the way it looks. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna put it down altogether. But a lot of people are without power right now, without water. And then, as you know, the supplies are running dim as well in the stores. So, I mean, the crisis does that. It puts you into one of those moments where it's kind of like, oh, do we have enough water? Do we have enough supplies? And, it kind of sends you into a frenzy. So before we start this interview, I am praying for families, that are being impacted by this storm in this weather, and it hit harder than what they're accustomed to. So that's the thing too. It's like normally it hits and then it dips in and out and it's gone. But this time it's like waylaying and it's, dragging out a bit. So that is the crisis in itself. The days, the length of time, and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. So beautiful. Listen, welcome to the segment. Welcome to the Queen G Live experience. I have not laid eyes on you in a while.
I know.
I miss you. I miss you.
I
miss
know.
you.
I'm kind of it's been so long. Like when you were talking about clubs and stuff, and just, well, first of all, we haven't been into a club in like a year. So let's just talk about that. And
yeah, I was going to ask you about that, like the adjustment of that alone,
I know. Was that the last time we saw each other? You and like your amazing husband came and he took pictures of me like at a concert at a club, actually.
Right.
And it was really awesome. And it was a really crazy day because I had a live event. I had 2 events that day, and you were at both of them. One was in LA and one was in Orange County, and it was like really awesome. And we really spent the whole day in music together, and it was so.
And girl, you be jamming. You listen. When we came, you rocked the stage. Okay, you rocked the stage.
Thank you.
I remember you performing a Prince song, a couple of Prince songs, and all kinds of like variations of different things. You are so well versed as far as how talented you are as an entertainer. It's just amazing to watch you. It's just amazing to watch you. I'm not even like blowing smoke.
I love music. One minute I could be, on some Lord, I know I've been changed. Lord, I know I've been changed too. I keep your picture beside my bed. Because I just posted that yesterday. I just thought about how come you don't come, So I love Prince.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh girl, don't get me going with Prince, honey.
Look,
he's for my whole life.
The thing is, Oya, this is me. So be you, be yourself. Feel free.
I'm gonna always be myself. That's my whole philosophy, Shanta. You know that. It's always being authentic. That's what I teach. That's who I am. That's what I do. So, we about to have fun today with your beautiful smile.
Girl, like if you feel a hymn, welling up in your spirit, your soul, just go there. Just go there. I love it. I love you too. You are like one of my favorite people. You have this kinetic energy that is amazing and powerful. And it's not just about the singing side of you, like your whole spirit and aura is powerful. You're a sweetheart. You know what I mean? Every time I have run into you in public, it's always a hug, love, well, it was before Corona.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was before Corona.
But see, that's the thing. Like, I actually was talking to some producers and artists and stuff yesterday, and we were talking about that in a group call about, just what it was, what it is, and what it's going to be, and how different people are affected by that. And I'm a pretty hands-on kind of a person. I'm that whole, like, in my mind growing up as a kid, that that Diana Ross that goes, reach out and touch.
Right.
I mean, you can't touch somebody's hand at this exact moment. We can't.
How is that for you? How has that been for you? I know that alone has been a major adjustment. Talk to us about
it. Has
since Corona.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, first and foremost, not being on a stage, not being able to connect with people. I mean, this is really great that we have this technology and I'm able to see you and your smile and we can talk and everything, but it's definitely not the same thing. Like, I can't hug you, I can't touch you, I can't tap you on the shoulder and be like, girl, you know what I mean? And seeing people eye to eye, feeling their energy, being able to walk out in the audience, which is something I always like to connect with people. So it's been challenging in that regard. I just am always just been a person, well, I shouldn't say always, for the most part, as a child, and then we go through different transitions and coming back full circle to my inner child and my wisdom combined with all the work that I've done to really just look at issues and reframe them as blessings and see what I can get out of this. And that was where Father Star was birthed, the documentary was birthed, this program, really getting it done. So that's just, I'm actually in this kind of a weird kind of way, because it's been sad and kind of depressing and different things throughout this past year, lots of things obviously canceled. Then you have to look at everything in your life and what may look bad. How can you look and find the good in everything? How can you reframe that issue as a blessing? How can you get the light from the darkness? How can you get the purpose from the pain? And that's what I focus on. And
I love that.
So in that regard, it's been great, actually. And that's just something that I just do in my life and what I teach in my master classes and my workshops. I mean, that's what I do and that's what I live. And that's what's got me through. And I'm very, very proud of and happy about this project that came out, that in all honesty, if it wasn't for COVID, I was on the planes and performing and working, and I didn't have that time to really carve out to create my Father Star, which is dedicated to mental health awareness.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your most updated project that you just released, which is major. Let's talk about that. First of all, what inspired this project? So
funny enough, my Father Star was inspired. It's 2021 now, so 6 years ago, actually. It hit me that I wanted to do a project that really took people from the sadness, the darkness, the hurt, and the pain, and then took them through it and through this journey to the other side. It's in loving memory of Zayn Musa, who we're very hurt in the music community. That to many, that was a brother, that was a friend, that was a gifted man to suicide. And I looked at a musician of mine that, I love dearly, that performs with me, that, he was close with him. And I looked at him outside on a break and I said, man, I'm doing something about this. I'm doing something about this. And I'm doing a project, and I'm going to make it in loving memory of him. And I have to do something about it. Basically merging my music and arts, my inspirational music with my spiritual psychology and helping people. I didn't know exactly what all that was going to look like, but I knew that it was something that I was doing, and I declared it that day. Well, fast forward years later, it didn't happen, because I was out here in the world working and things are great. It was in the back of my mind.
And bustle, the regular hustle and bustle of what we have to do.
That I wanted to do, but literally with this whole COVID thing and outside of performing, I'm doing my workshops and, doing my keynote talks and stuff like that. Outside of performing by way of just a singer, I always infuse my singing in all of my keynotes, right? It's always a musical experience when I'm delivering a talk. But to really sit down and to actually produce a documentary, to really sit down and build out a program, to really focus the particular kind of journey of music that I wanted to do, it didn't happen until now, where everything was shut down. I stopped. And then every day I was getting calls, and in the workshops and everything I was doing was depression, was sadness, working through different people with different thoughts and all of this stuff. And I was like, you know what? This is the time. This is the time. And that's exactly what I did. I I just put everything into it. And I even took how I felt. Like everybody knows I'm like pretty much one of the like most super duperest, happiest people ever. And even I felt it. Like even I felt it. Me, happy bunny rabbit, jumping around, jolly. I felt it. Like being stripped away from everybody and everything, your family, your friends, your stages, your events. Like, so I put all of it into this project, and I started to get the interviews done with everybody. Simultaneously, the My Father's Star CD that goes with the Ending the Pain documentary that's with 7 suicide survivors that now I'm calling beautiful life ambassadors, because they're assisting people to live. They're showing that life value and a gift, and people can really listen to their stories in this documentary and see somebody that they are in the moment that they're in now, and they can let them know how they got through it. And then also with the program, so that this program is with the documentary, with the suicide survivors, again, the life ambassadors, with myself and panelists, including people like suicide prevention specialists and things. So we can really talk about this. So we can really
I'm so proud of your work, and that this was a platform, and especially us as entertainers too, you know what I mean? Going through this phase that we're going through, it is very depressing. It's impact more people than what you know, that have even come forward to admit and say, hey, I'm in a depressive position right now because of this. And like me, okay, Oya, now I kind of went into right mode times, on crack. I went into right mode on crack. I wrote a lot of books. See, for me, I threw myself into my writing, and that is how I survived. I became an author. But everybody didn't have that option. Everybody didn't have an option of, oh my God, what can I do to kind of help me through this phase of I'm not out there like I was, or I can't go from here to there or travel with what I do or as an entertainer. It was a lot of people making a lot of good money traveling with it. You know what I'm saying? So when we all got shut down, it makes you think about a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, everything was canceled. I mean, there was a lot of money that was on the table that was like, nope. And there were things that were coming up that I get deposits for every year on certain dates that I just already know, because I'm already prepping for those events, and those were all taken off of the table. And
like Black History Month or certain references through the year, certain events, throughout the year, you're already pre-booked because you're already in rotation, and now
it's all gone. And then as the end of the last quarter, things weren't getting better, and so the things that are first and second quarter of 2021, I already knew that those are going to be taken off of the table. So people were like, oh, we're going to see how this goes. And then people slowly but surely, some quicker than others, didn't follow through with those bookings because they couldn't even do it by law. Because when you're talking about, thousands of people or tens of thousands of people that are going to be at different events, like when you're doing festivals and stuff, like that's not happening. I mean, I even had a wedding that was canceled last year. I mean, somebody didn't get married. Come on now.
That's serious.
Yeah.
People, plus too, it's a pandemonium of such, in the sense of, it puts a lot of people in panic, and we don't know how to gather this whole COVID thing and what to think about the vaccines and what to do. This is our first time ever even being presented with this in life. And so many people have died. It's a very serious thing. So you can't push it aside and be like, oh, whatever.
No. You really have to look at what's going on. I just continue to encourage people that you can get completely wrapped up in it to the point where you find yourself even more depressed. You find yourself even in a darker place than you even were before. Now, I've asked a lot of people, this has been an interesting question that people, they pause when I ask them this question. I asked them, how were they before COVID hit? Because a lot of people are blaming everything on COVID. And I said, well, how were you before COVID? And then when people really sit in that, they recognize that they weren't 100% before COVID. And then COVID.
Before the time, yeah. Right.
So this is really, I keep telling people, this is a really great opportunity to work on yourself. Know thyself. What do you need to do? There's so much room and opportunity for improvement. So when we do get to the other side, you have these different things together. And I know it can be a struggle. I know it can be a challenge. I know. But where there's a will, there's a way, and we can all figure it out. Like, we have choices. Like, don't give up. There's right. People right now that I know that are taking classes that they always wanted to take, whether that was a free certificate program to something for a nominal fee, something that was going to improve them on their job, something that they wanted to do for their own personal life with their nutrition, with their health, and they had the time. Yes. They were able to do something about it. So just take this time. This is messed up as it is. Please find the blessing in it, because you'll look up and then we'll be back to whatever this normal is, or new normal, or back to normal. And then you'll look back and you'll say, what did I do with that year, or that year and a half, or the 2 years, whatever it's going to end up being? What did I do with that time?
I have a question, Oya. When you are bummed out and at your most, doubting time, what do you do to pull you back together?
Good question. I love nature.
Okay.
I love to go outside and get the sun, look at the little bunny rabbits, the birds flying around. I love the beach, just because it reminds you of the beauty. It reminds you of God. It reminds you of, okay, I did come here for a reason. Let me tap back into that. Having, someone that is very special in your life, whether that's a parent, a sibling, a friend, is always of great value for me. My brother, don't tell him, y'all. Shh. Not just playing, but we always mess around like that. You know how that is with brothers.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you can share just different thoughts, from your stream of conscious of what's going on, and someone to just hold up a mirror and reflect something back and remind you of who you are.
Right. I have a Rick Williams on here that's live with us. He said, Oya has helped me. That is his statement that he made. I want to thank you so much for letting us know that. That's amazing. Like, you never know who you help. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to tell you, like, for a lot of people that, like, I've seen stuff like that with lives and stuff. And thank you so much, Rick. Blessings. When people post stuff like that, it's by usually a few different things. They've either heard my music, they've read my book, or listened to the audiobook, The 5-Star Points for Success, or they've seen me live and I said something to them or what have you. So I'm gonna say this. It's the same thing for me too. There's certain music that uplifts me, that just takes that frequency up. When you feel low, listen to something that's gonna raise the frequency, right? Read something, listen to something that raises the frequency. But again, the first go-to is get to moving. Get to moving, just get that energy going, because the depression, being stagnant, want to put your covers over your head, not even get up because you're sad. Get some light and some love inside, and remind yourself, get your soul to stir back so your spirit can shine like the beautiful star that you are.
I have another question. This is regarding your music. I was skimming through your page and I saw the black and white old school. It was like you were on stage. I absolutely loved it. So take us to that moment when you created that song in that era, and like what vibe were you in? Because that was Obviously, old school 20s, like, you know what I mean?
I went back in time to the 1940s is what it was. I love the different eras, and I went back in time to perform a song in my mind to experience that. And I covered this song called Accentuate the Positive. It's totally my philosophy. If you listen to anything that I've said up to this point, just like reframing your issues as blessings, it's about accentuating the positive. Even if it's just that little how we can continue to allow that to grow to the point where it's everything is what you actually want. But you have to start, it's like, the little mustard seed, right? You got to start from something, and then you can have it a massive, amazing tree bearing fruit. So I went back in time also because there's something so very special about our ancestors and our beautiful, amazing artists that came before us, the Ella Fitzgeralds, the Carmen McRae's, of that nature. The Ma Rainey,
the style, the culture, all of that. Like,
well, the fact that it beyond the style, which obviously was so important, right? Because that's so gorgeous, and I was so excited to dress up that way and perform that way. But the fact that we stand on their shoulders, the fact that I can even be on a stage, I mean, they did some heavy lifting for me and you, for you to be able to do what you do, for me to be able to do what I do in this world. And I just thank them. So it was a way of me paying homage to those beautiful women of color that stood and fought the fight for us so that we can just so gracefully get on the stage and to sing and to dance and to whatever that we do as artists. It's a big, big deal, actually. That didn't happen that long ago.
Huge deal. Right. So I want to segue into our new vice president, woman, African American. Talk to us about that.
I mean, that's just it, right? That's a segue into just like what I was saying, the being able to see someone else do it. Imagine, a little girl that saw somebody like a Bessie Smith or an Ella Fitzgerald or Dorothy Dandridge, or do you see what I'm saying? And then you look up and you say, wow, you did it. I can do it. Or even like a Sheila E., one of the baddest, right? If their little girls once upon a time didn't maybe feel like they could be a drummer, right? That they could be any kind of percussionist. And you look up to somebody. So now the shoes that she's filling, there's little girls that can look up and say, I can do that. And as a woman of color, I can do that. The possibilities are there. So that's what I mean. Somebody, you can be the first one to do something. Indeed. I'm just saying, if there's somebody that opened that door or broke that door down, stood on that stage, got in front of that podium before you, then it just makes it that much more easy and graceful for you. You may still have to fight and push through, no doubt, right? Everything isn't always easy, but it doesn't have to be that hard. And especially if there were people that came before you that made a way for you.
Like last year, while I was writing in my creative vibe, I also created a magazine called Let's Go to Work Entertainment Magazine. And it's a magazine for entertainers. It's a marketing and branding magazine, which is that angle. That's a specific angle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because there are magazines, but every magazine is not for the eye candy marketing angle, if you know what I mean. Where the ads are bold and big and, you know what I mean, stand out. Like, so in creating that magazine, I was like, this is a new lane. I know magazines have come out. They have had thousands of magazines, right? Millions of magazines. But I don't think anything has come out like this, where you can see the detail in the color from the product that's on the page. You know what I mean? It's a different angle. And you know what? This is another thing. When you're a pioneer, a person that's doing something different or new or whatever, you face a lot of challenges, and people that tell you, you know, you can't, or they try to beat you down or beat your vision down. And the thing is, we gotta you gotta know within your spirit that you are on the right track, and that you're hearing it from your higher power.
Yes.
On what to do. Like you were saying, it's frequency, it's you know, the what you hear in your spirit to do. And we just have to step out. We got to step into that. And it's gonna be, when you're a revolutionary or a person that is presenting something new, you're gonna get challenged for sure. But what would you tell that pioneer that is trying to, you know, launch a new product or do something new? What advice would you give them?
You know, you said it. I mean, you have to know who you are. And once you know who you are, there's no backing down. There's no stopping. Right. And you live out this thing called life and your purpose. And sometimes you will have some challenges. Sometimes you may have to take a little break and breathe and go take that walk and go to the beach, or, you know, you might need some rest one day and take a day off. But there's no stopping. You came here to fulfill that purpose. So you keep going. And if you need to get assistance, don't be afraid to get assistance and get help, you know, and really tune into those things that lift up your frequency. Like I said, whether that's music or if you have somebody to talk to, if you need to get a life coach, sometimes people need to get a mentor. They need to get someone in their corner to help them through it. Whatever you need to do, make sure you do that. And if you don't know, talk to somebody so you can get some different ideas, you know, open up some different things to see things a different way, you know, different perspectives, you know, so you can clear your mind and be clear. Like for me, one of the things also as a part of keeping my frequency up is I make sure that I really take care of myself and eat right. That's a part of the 5-star, you know, points for success: mind, body, spirit, emotions, environment. Right. Here's actually the book right here, the 5-star points for success.
Wow.
And talk about mind, body, spirit, emotions, and environment. And one of the things is, like, are you feeding yourself toxic thoughts? Are you eating toxic foods? You know, what are you around toxic environments and people? You have to let toxicity go and fuel yourself with positive, healthy things to keep yourself at the optimal level that you deserve to operate in, so you can fulfill your mission and purpose.
I'm starting to tap into the you know, healthy eating aspect of it. And my God, first of all, I didn't realize how raggedy I was eating. First of all, confessions, right? Confessions.
No, but Shanta, I'm so glad that you said that, though, because honestly, a lot of people, they aren't really aware. They're just doing stuff. So, I mean, big ups and blessings to you for saying it. And then now correcting that, doing the course correction, because a lot of times we don't know what we're doing. That's why I said sometimes you need somebody to reflect stuff back to you. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know.
That's what COVID did for me. It reeled that part of my life, you know, back in and said, listen, you can't keep putting that stuff down your throat that you've been putting down your throat and then expect to be at your maximum energy or your maximum level. You know, you can't do that. It's just so interesting, taking down more water, more nutrients. Right here. I didn't realize my folic acid was low. Who thinks about their folic acid levels? You know,
well, that's the thing, Shanta. It's really crazy because we are these amazing instruments and we don't know anything about them. Right. I always talk about, as a musician, how when somebody plays an instrument, they know their instrument. So if you play the saxophone, for example, they can, the saxophonist knows how to break it down. They know how to clean it. If something breaks, they know how to fix it. But human beings, this is our whole instrument in which we sing our song. And oftentimes we're out of tune. because we're not
Right.
taking care of ourselves or know how to take care of ourselves. We don't understand the anatomy, the physiology, the spirituality, our emotions. So it's very important to take that time to connect and really know who we are, all the way down to, most importantly, the soul level. So we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we need to understand that. And then we also have to understand this temple and how it actually operates. What kind of fuel are you putting into your system?
Right.
You know, are you getting the proper maintenance? You know, because it's just like a car. If you're not getting the proper maintenance, it is eventually at some point it's going to break down. If you put the wrong, gas in there, it's going to start chucking up. And it's, you know what I mean? So, but we don't look at
I just turned 47, and I was like, I got to get this together. And you just get to the point, especially as a mother and stuff like that, where you have to think about, your children, and do you want to be around long enough for them and as much as you can? And it's a lot of stuff. And like you said, if we would have been running around, traveling everywhere like we were before, it wouldn't have made me sit back and take that moment of self-reflection. But it's like this past whole year, got me closer to my kids and made me value quality time. You know what I mean? Hearing their little voices in the house all the time. And I was on the plane so much. And it would literally be like, we would get our time in when we could, in between stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just finding out that they have a soul and a personality and just all of that. COVID did that. COVID did that. Thank you. Like you were saying, there are a lot of good things, as a result of COVID that it did for us and taught us so much about being human, a human spirit and being, and how even what we do impacts others, and it's important that we put on our full armor every day, because there are so many tuning in to get that word of encouragement or that fine tuning that they need to pick them back up. You know what I mean? And it starts with this, right? It starts with you.
Totally. It always starts with us. And from that's going to affect your children, your spouse, whoever you're with, your rest of your family, your coworkers, anybody you come in contact with, and ultimately the world. Because you affect things and other people affect things. So if we operate in ourselves, I always say hurt people and hurt themselves, right? But if you really love yourself, if you're really in love with yourself, then what's going to happen? You can't hurt anybody else because you're feeling so good. You know how that feels. You want to uplift other people. And then once you uplift them and help them, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go uplift others. And then those others help others. And then now we're spreading light around the world on another level. So that's what it's all about. So it starts with you.
Let me ask you this, because I'm definitely gonna I would love to place you in my next women empowerment magazine that I'm doing for next month. I hadn't talked to you about that yet, but what is it that us as fans of Oya, what can we do for you? What can we do to lighten the load for you?
Well, right now, the biggest thing that I'm doing is the Ending the Pain, this campaign, this program, this movement. So if there's anybody that would like to contribute to that, I'm building a complete resource center, the website, really promoting it across the world to save lives. That would be helpful. Anyone that's interested in any of that for suicide prevention, the mental health awareness. And again, I put my word in there, soul care as well, because a lot of people just overlook their soul. They just overlook it. And then when people work with me, as a spiritual life coach and soul centered strategist, people are like, oh my God, I got a whole soul in here I forgot I was a spiritual being having a human experience. And it's important that we take that time. So I have people that have been, stepping up to, offer, assistance. And so, the thing is like when people are buying the My Father's Star project, it's beautiful. I appreciate the support. Myself as an independent artist and an independent record label owner. But it's bigger than just the music on this project. I put aside an original project that I was doing to put out my Father's Star because of this time and how important that it is. And yeah, that's the way. Of course, all of the positive beings out there, you can always lift me up in prayer and send me positive vibes and energy. Just appreciating the support and the activity. A lot of people send me DMs and they tell me how groovy the stuff is. Put it on a platform for people to see. Don't just tell it to me, which I appreciate. Thank you. But put it on iTunes reviews, put it on the Amazon reviews, post it on the page, not just sending me a DM. Like, I have so many DMs and I really appreciate that. But put it out on the public platform so others can see it. So when they're deciding, should I buy this CD or that CD, or, whatever they're processing, then they can see what other people think about the book or the CD. What was their experience and how the 5-star points for success uplifted them? What was their experience of the music as they listened to my voice or what have you? Those are things that are beneficial for me and my soul-centered production and consulting company, Spirit of Oya.
I asked that because me as a marketer, I understand how important it is for two worlds to come together, and then you know what I mean, kind of work your way out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this, I'm so grateful that you gave me an opportunity to do this exclusive with you tonight. One, because we're friends. Second, because I haven't seen you in a long time, and this is just amazing to catch up with you. Like you said, unfortunately, and it's in this way, because we would have been all of this.
I know. We will soon. I know we will.
But I think that even right now, social media wise, making an impact in this way is a great way to come together and to support each other, and get behind what we believe in with one another. So and whatever I can do, of course, I'm going to share this live out. I'm going to, spread the word and the message. And like I said, putting your story in my magazine, I would love to do that as well.
Absolutely.
Coming up, for next month. So we'll talk further about that and just, let everybody know how they can follow you, where they can find you, and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So everywhere, Spirit of Oya. Everything is Spirit of Oya, whether that's on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is where I'm probably at the most, but Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all Spirit of Oya. The website, Spirit of Oya. I'm really excited because we're finishing up the building of the new website. It will be done by March. So everything is spiritofoya.com, all the social media. My Father's Star is out on all music platforms. If you go to my Instagram, you can go on my link tree if you're looking for my different products from the book, the 5-star points for success, or the music, and it'll take you directly to your favorite music platform. You can also find that on my website. And and if you're interested in this contributing any kind of time and energy, if you have any resources, because there's been some amazing people that have reached out to me and said, hey, I have a great suicide prevention resource. Or if you would like to contribute financially in assisting in that, because we're going into the film festivals and all that. And Shanta, I would love to have you as one of my guests for the private screening coming up. So I will send you the invitation. It's an exclusive private screening with the people that were all involved and some other people. So I'm excited to have you there. And
wow, that would be awesome.
It's about saving lives, and I want people to have quality of life while they're really manifesting their dreams and living their life's purpose, to be in peace and love and joy, because life is a gift and you are a gift. And I just want to remind everybody, don't let anyone or anything dim your light, including yourself. Now go out and shine like the star you are. That's my daily mantra. That's my mantra that I say every time I finish an event. And I just want to remind everybody that they are a star.
That is amazing. And you are amazing. So I want to end this interview with, for those that are still on the aftermath of COVID or going through it and just trying to find their way and navigate through this whole thing, what word of encouragement or advice would you leave with us to end this particular segment?
You know, the first thing that came up into my consciousness is the word love. Love yourself. Love yourself through this. Give yourself grace.
Yes.
Give yourself grace, and the dignity of your own process and others. Don't judge yourself and others. And really connect to your soul. And your answer is there to get through this time and for the rest of your life, to live the fulfilled life that you deserve with no regrets. So take the time for yourself. And if you need to get help, get help. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed of going to get help, whatever that means. Like I said, that could be a mentor, that could be a coach, that could be a nutritionist, that could be a physical therapist, it could be a counselor, therapist, whatever it is. Get the help that you need and you deserve, because you deserve to live out your gifts of life.
And you are preaching to the choir. I say that because in recent days, I was hit with some health issues, epilepsy actually, which is interesting. Out of nowhere. It could be stress. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate that word of encouragement, because, you know, when you're so headstrong, you know, and so used to being the warrior, I'm a warrior through this. Everything you can't warrior through. Some stuff you need a specialist. Some stuff you need a medical professional to step in and tell you what is going on and why is that happening. You know what I mean? And I'm just keeping it real today. Like, so I appreciate that word of encouragement, and you talking to me. You know what I mean? Because some stuff you can't be strong through it. You gotta just, you know, get that help you need and go ahead and, you know what I mean? Just release. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the strong ones, we're the ones be like, oh, okay, I got this. You ain't got everything. You don't have everything.
Right. And to be honest, like, you know, Shanta, you know, I'm one love. I am for everybody. I do have to say this though. This is something that in our community, I remember going to grad school and looking around and not seeing hardly anybody that looked like me. And I'm like, yo, like, why aren't there more people getting this information?
Right.
Because it was so rewarding for me. And I remember even going, all I wanted to do was just help people. But I didn't know how much I could benefit from it. But because, you know, when we're typically raised in our families, especially in the Black and brown community, right? Even though as I got deeper in this and I started, you know, talking to Asian and Indian and all kinds of other, you know, ethnicities, learning that no, you keep your business in the house. You don't go out. That's a disgrace in the family to talk about your issues. You keep everything private and to yourself. But that's a problem. When you keep all that stuff inside, it's like you're killing yourself every day. The stress, the anger, the self-hate, the problems, all that stuff. You got to let that stuff go. And sometimes you don't know how to do it and you need to get that help. But we've typically generally been raised in our families like you don't take your business outside of the house. Okay, then what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that I'm here to stand in the gap through music and arts for healing. And so that's what this whole movement and campaign, you know, is about. And I'm really excited about it because I've had so many discussions that I'm like, wow, look at all these people of color, like sharing and talking and saying it is
forward. Yes, coming forward.
Because
With
we have a lot of trauma in our past, and the only way that we can begin to heal that intergenerationally is if we talk about it and work through it as a community. We're very disconnected and broken in many ways, but we can do this. We can absolutely do this. It's about us coming together, and we gotta work with ourselves though first, because when we work with ourselves, then we can once we revere ourselves and respect ourselves, we're able to give that back to someone else and have a healthy conversation. You can revere and respect someone else. And then when you do that, then you guys can have healthy conversation and find resolution.
Right. So sis, I got to do this last thing. Final. Can you sing us out? Whatever comes to mind or on your heart, sing us out, and then I'll officially end this segment. You have been amazing. I love you.
Thank you. Well, I'll sing a little a cappella what I was singing earlier because it is on my Father's Star. Everybody, we're leading with the Look at You Now song, but this song is a song that I used to always sing in church with my father. And that's the one that I was giving you a little bit of. So I'll do a little bit more for you. And it is on my Father's Star, and it's got a little groove to it. So enjoy. So, here we go. Lord, I know I've been changed. Lord, I know I've been changed. Lord, I know I've been changed because the angels in heaven done sign my name. Listen, I stepped in the water, but the water was cold. It chilled my body, but not my soul. If you don't believe that I've been redeemed, just follow me down to the Jordan stream. Hey, Lord, I know I've been changed. Lord, I know I've been changed. Lord, I know I've been changed because the angels, I say, the angels in heaven done sign.
Thank you so much.
Thank
oh my
you.
God, what an honor for us today here at Healing Life Experience. I appreciate you so much for being a special guest here. Thank you for stopping in. You have amazing energy.
Thank
Amazing.
you, Tasha. So do you. You just glow.
Oh
I
my God.
appreciate you. Tell your husband and family hello. And so it's so great to be here with you to share about my Father's Star. And especially today, we dropped the R&B remix. It just came out today. And
we're getting the exclusive here, right here.
Yeah. And it's great. So I look forward to everybody checking out the project. Listen to it from beginning to end because it tells a story. Then do what you want. Listen to each individual song as you please, but listen to the story and how it flows. And yeah, that's it.
So, we're going to share this out to everybody. And I will be in touch with you. I will inbox you concerning the magazine for the women's edition that I'm putting out next month. Next month is Women's Month. So, in honor of that, I'm ready for the special edition. Yes, and you got it on the full promotion for your album. Whatever you want to do, honey, with that magazine, you got it.
Whatever you need, just let us know, and we'll make sure that you have it so you can put that all out there, for what we're doing. And I know that you support that. I know you're about quality of life. I know you're about mental health awareness, and
definitely
help that they need so they can enjoy life, y'all. Like, enjoy life, and don't let negativity, darkness, depression stuff take you over. Like, get the help that you need. That's all I can really just keep saying. And sometimes we do need
mental health definitely has impacted my family personally. So I believe in that platform, and I will do whatever it takes to support what you're doing. Thank you so much, Oya. You have been amazing and powerful here today. And I know that those that watched it and tuned in, they were blessed. As usual, every time you go live, you are blessing others. So I'm going to keep you in prayer that God will continue to utilize your life in the way that it impacts, others, and continue to use you for that purpose, because I know from your standpoint, it's not simple, because I kind of am walking in some shoes too. So I get it. And I know it's not an easy process. But I'm praying for my sister and keeping you in prayer.
It's a lot of work. It's worth it.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. When you're producing, you're directing, you're, the executive producer, you're the person in front of the camera, behind the camera, talking to the people, really looking at every single thing before it comes out. Even with a team, having great people that you work with, like, I still have to oversee the vision.
Yep.
It can be a lot. And sometimes, there's some serious hours and days and all of that. So I have to remind myself of the same thing that I teach, to make sure that I'm eating right, going outside, getting my proper rest, because I have to. Because one thing, and this is a reminder for you and those who are watching, for me, people that are giving back as artists, and as well as, like, if you're doing any kind of counseling or helping people, service provider, anything, the thing that works best for me is to give from my overflow. So that, what that means. That means I have to be working at my optimal level and to be able to pour over my blessings. But it's all about it. It's about me taking care of myself first, because if I'm not rested, if I'm eating right and all that stuff, and then it's like, then I'm now depleting myself, and like, people are here to get what they need. And then if I'm not operating at 100%, that's not going to be healthy for me. Then who am I going to be good for? Not even myself. So
that's the aspect that I was saying that I am keeping you in prayer about, because we do have to be replenished and refilled, and, given back to even more than what we've given out. And it's not easy all the time. And it's a big, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure, so in that aspect, I understand. That's why I can talk to you from this angle. Like, I know what you're doing.
But that's what I'm saying is about being aware and knowing, that threshold, knowing what you need for yourself. And that's why I say that I share that with you, with everybody. And as a reminder back to myself, as I get my hydration, you know what I mean?
Right.
And okay, I got another interview after this. I've been seeing you drinking your water the whole time.
Okay, I got it. I'm getting it together over here. So blessings, sister. Love you so much. Keep up the good work out here, and I'm going to support this project and stand behind you with this. And thank you so much again for blessing us with your beautiful presence here on the Queensy Live Experience today. So I everybody that watched and tuned in, y'all get behind that project and support.
Yes, go download and stream everything now. Woohoo!
Yes. All right, beautiful. I will talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, blessing. Mwah.
Bye. Oh, wasn't she amazing? Always. She's always amazing. Thank you so much, Oya, again, for stopping in at the Queen D Live Experience. Y'all see, these shows are going to get even more powerful, even more amazing. Again, y'all, let's keep Texas in prayer, all the families that are impacted by this weather and all the things that are happening, and support that project. Also, that Oya, the Spirit of Oya has released. We want to make sure that we get behind her and support her in what she's doing. I'm going to buy a project in the upcoming days, and you guys, listen. You saw it yourself. She's amazing and wonderful. Support her, okay? Oya Thomas, Spirit of Oya. And listen, y'all, keep tuning into the Queen G Live Experience. I will see y'all next time, all right? It's your girl, Queen G of Queen G Live Experience. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace. Have a good one.